young people, our middle age, our adults don't have to depend on $300 and $400. But they can do things, they can work, they can create their own economic activity so they can take care of themselves. Anybody that has to depend on somebody is a slave to that person. We are no longer slaves. We refuse to be slaves in the Catholic constituency. We want freedom, financial freedom, spiritual freedom, where the church does not marry what is going on in government. There's a clear separation. The church has its role, government has its role, and all of these stakeholders together come together for the development of the country. I call upon you as citizens, as voters within the constituency, to do what is best for your young people, your future, do what is best for our constituency. We've had enough of this dependency. We want our financial freedom. Free the people out.
Thank you very much, Ms. Banis. You know, our sister spoke about agriculture briefly, and we're going to have that addressed later on more extensively. And hope is there, brothers and sisters. United Workers' Party is here. And all we are asking you all is to put the trust in us. 25 years of hard labor is too much of my people. It's 25 years of hard labor. This is not joke. Okay? This area is agriculture. Dominica is an agriculture-based country. And unless we do not go back to the soil. You know, people keep telling us, well, why you workers keep talking about agriculture? Brothers and sisters, agriculture is what gold is to Sudan. What tourism is to Antigua, to St. Kitts, and all these places. This is what agriculture is to us, because all we have, brothers and sisters, is our soil. And we have the water. We have everything that we need for us to make that difference. But for this to happen, you have to vote for us. We need your votes so that we can make things better for you, brothers and sisters. At this time, brothers and sisters, we have a lady by the name of Teacher Early, a hard worker, a God-fearing person. Okay? This is the person that we are asking you all to put all your support with. And welcome to those persons who are watching live as well. I hope there are a number of people from the constituency who are joined, because our sister Ernie has dedicated her whole life from teaching to church, and she's now in the public face in politics, still serving the people. So, brothers and sisters, I would like to welcome Teacher Early to the podium right now.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, please. I'm honored, very honored to be among you this evening, the passionate supporters of the United Workers' Party, Cassius, Transodipa, Mopo, Goodhope, Sansobe, and Petitstofre. I extend a special welcome to Dr. Thompson Fontaine and the other members of the National Executive. Soso Forozo, Danny, Augusta Danny, Dave, Davis George, well, Jean is our chair, so Jean is the International Secretary. Dr. TC is there. See you, Dr. TC. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Baptiste. Oh, yeah, Mr. Baptiste, our former senator. He's there as well. Welcome, Mr. Lee. I want to remind you that your presence here this evening reflects your trust, your faith, your confidence in the United Workers' Party's vision for where prosperity will be shared by everyone. Rich and poor, young and old, red and blue, orange and green, whatever. Everyone will share in the prosperity that we have. The United Workers' Party has for Dominica. Our new campaign approach is built on listening to your struggles. It is built on delivering bold solutions. It is built on restoring hope for Dominicans, for you in the Castle's constituency, through action. We ask for your continued trust, your continued support, as we work together to rebuild this beautiful country. My friends, people of the Castle's constituency, Dominica, or people listening overseas, I know we have some people listening online. Dominica's economy is in dire need of repair. You will agree with me. Yeah? Dr. Fontaine, a proven economist, who has contributed his expertise to fixing economies across the Caribbean and beyond. Just recently, he just came from Bangladesh. He's helping, he's assisting them to fix the economy. The population of Bangladesh is about 170 million people, am I right? 170 million people, and he's helping them. South Sudan, he's helping them, or he has helped them. He can help them. Don't you think our population of less than 70,000 people, don't you think he can move us from point A to point Z? The reality on the ground is bad. It is bad. If you walk around and you listen to people, you listen to mothers with children, little children, you listen to the family, you listen to everyone, they will tell you, Bagay moving. Bagay moving. Farmers can't sell their produce. No markets. Fishermen can't sell their fish. Sorrento is there, he can attest to that. They cannot sell their fish. When you go to the supermarkets, to the grocery shops, the little that you have, when you think you put something in your trolley, you say, okay, I will be able to pay for that. But when you get to the counter, to the cashier, most times you have to put some down, leave some on the counter, because the little that you have in your purse is not enough to pay for what you want. And generally they are basic needs. Nothing extra, just basic needs. It's true. It's a fact. It's reality. Our youth are educated, they are talented, and they are ambitious. But what is happening to them? They are living in droves. Why? Because they cannot find jobs in their country. Big projects like the international airports, the housing initiatives, our youth are sidelined. They are frustrated, they need money, there's no way they can make money, so they leave us. And little countries like St. Kitts, Antigua, St. Martin, St. Lucia, Guadeloupe, these countries embrace them because they know Dominicans are hard workers. We need our youth to remain in our country, to develop our country. The United Workers' Party will put the mechanisms in place to ensure that our youth remain here, live comfortably, and build their country. We can't take this so much longer. How long again can we work? Empty our pockets, empty our little bank accounts, just to ensure that the political ambitions of a few are met. That is what's happening. We cannot do it any longer. You will agree with me that we have had enough. enough, and now is the time to drive these people out. Let them know they have run short of ideas, they have run short of everything that is there. They need to go and let the United Workers' Party take office to govern this country and bring Dominica back to where it was in the glory days. So my people in the Castles constituency, my people in Dominica, it is incumbent on us to put the necessary things in place, because we are the alternative political party. We have to put things in place. You have to ensure that you put things in place. And what you have to put in place to ensure that you vote for this party, this Labour Party that is there grinding us. We have to put them aside and vote the United Workers' Party so that our country can be on a better path to victory, to prosperity. My people, the path of reviving the economy of a country is serious business. That is serious business. And that needs competence and quality leadership. That is what Dr. Fountain offers us. Quality and competent leadership. Let us look at the economic revitalization and leadership. Dr. Fountain, as we said, is a globally respected economist. He is respected worldwide. And we know, we have said, he has fixed the economies, certain economies around the Caribbean and the world. And with our stagnant economy in Dominica, because money can't flow in, money cannot flow in Dominica. Hence the reason for our suffering. Money cannot flow because our farmers, the planters, falling down. The agouti digging themselves. You know the agouti digging the yam themselves, they dig it in the potatoes. They're eating that, they dig it. You understand? So we cannot sell them. Our fish cannot sell. We cannot buy groceries. We cannot make ends meet. Dr. Fountain's expertise will jumpstart our economy, because right now it is stagnant, it cannot start. I don't say it is in reverse gear again, I say it is packed. And so Dr. Fountain, with his expertise, he is going to jumpstart the economy, the engine of the economy, and Dominica will start moving again. And how will money flow? How will Dominica move forward? There will be fair wages and salaries. We will attract investors. We will build factories. And new jobs will be created for our young people. They will have no reason to leave Dominica to go and find jobs, because they will be able to find decent paying jobs in their country. If they want to leave, they'll go on a little vacation, but they will come back to their jobs in Dominica at home. We know our young people cannot find jobs. We know that. A UWP government will ensure, because I told you previously, our young people cannot find jobs on projects in Dominica, because this priority is given to foreigners. A United Workers' Party government will give our people, our youth, priority on Dominican projects. Okay? They will give priority for our people. Okay? So they will stay here. Let us look, I want to touch a little bit on agriculture. I want to touch a little on everything. So agriculture. So someone give me the details. Agriculture was once the backbone of Dominica's economy. Yeah, that was the backbone of our economy. Farmers got the pick-up cash. And the pick-up was they were keeping it for long, you know. As long as it starts giving money, you know, it's pack it or sell it and buy another one. And that's how we used to do agriculture. Many parents send their children to school, to university on agriculture. Now today, field roads are abandoned. Vegetation has taken over. Most of the fields are like river courses. The drains that they need to say the river that was passing there. So farmers cannot access their land. They cannot access their holdings. Therefore, they feel discouraged. They leave. They go overseas, or they just, they give up. You understand? They give up. Crops are rotting. Just this afternoon there, I was by a lady, and a plantain, she almost fell on me. Because we were saying, if plantains were selling, that plantain would not be there. My husband and I were saying that. That plantain would not have been there. Either somebody would have taken it already, or they would have sold the plantain. I was talking like, as they were saying that, the plantain grew out. So the crops are rotting. They are falling. You can't sell them. Some plantains go to St. Vincent or wherever in the Caribbean. We export them. That's the but what happens? They manufacture those plantains into plantain chips and send them back to us. So what's happening? Water. I go to the supermarkets and I see all types of water. All types of water. Only Twapito water we have in Rongo. Where is all Lubia water? Since Hurricane Maria, our Lubia water disappeared. Where is all Lubia? We still have it, but where is it manufactured? Not in our agriculture. Not in our agriculture. These things have to come back because some of these factories, these areas that have our people employed. People, all the people working in the factory at Amsterdam Corner, where are they? They have gone. They have gone. We want them to stay here. The United Workers' Party will restore markets for our farmers. You remember the castle stretch at some point? Bananas on either side. It was like an avenue and passing in between the trees. Blue diaphane all over the place. You remember there was the irrigation program for these farmers. Hurricane Maria destroyed the irrigation system, the pipes and pumps and whatever. Nothing was done to rebuild it. Absolutely nothing. Hence, many of the farmers on the castle stretch, as I said, abandoned their homes. The United Workers' Party, we will put mechanisms in place to ensure our farmers are well taken care of. We will put mechanisms in place to ensure our fishermen are well taken care of. We will put mechanisms in place to ensure that all Dominicans are well taken care of. If they're overseas, when they see what Dominica has become, they will want to come back to it. And people of the Castles constituency, the prosperity that I'm talking about, you will be part of it as well. You will be part of it. I can tell you that. Let us look at our health system. Our health system is in crisis. It is in crisis. Hospitals and health centers do not have the basic supplies to take care of our people. And the patients, anybody who goes to the hospital fears for their life. They have a fear in them. Some say they prefer to stay home and die instead of going to the hospital. Others go, they don't have a choice, but they are very fearful. Nurses are stressed, they are frustrated because they don't have the basic tools and equipment to do their job. The United Workers' Party, when we get into office, we will prioritize health care. We will equip the hospitals and health centers with the necessary supplies so our nurses can work stress-free and effectively. And Dominica, I don't know if you remember, but there's gone by, people from overseas used to come to Dominica to do surgery. I don't know if you remember that. I know that. They will come to Dominica. So the United Workers' Party government will bring back those days, because in those days, Dominica was a regional model. Our healthcare system was a regional model. That will come back under the United Workers' Party. Look at the high cost of electricity. Look at the high cost of water bills. What about pot fees? These are burdens which every Dominican family carries. All of us carry these burdens. It doesn't matter whether you are a UWP supporter or a Labour supporter or whatever supporter you are. It doesn't matter. We are all suffering. All of us are suffering. Some suffer in silence. They don't want to talk, but they pray in their hearts. They pray behind their doors. They pray that better days will come. Others, they say it out loud. We are suffering because they are frustrated. They are frustrated with the system. A United Workers' Party government. We have a lot of water here. We have a lot of wind. We have a lot of sun. A United Workers' Party government will make use of wind energy. Will make use of solar energy to reduce those utility costs, to reduce your electricity, to reduce your water bill. To reduce those costs, we will make use of those energy and will ensure that your money will stretch a little further. To the people in the apartment buildings, you do not have an title for the apartment because the apartment does not belong to you. It doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the state. In the United Workers' Party, we will ensure that you get titles for your apartment, and you will ensure the stability for your family, and you will have pride because you can say, put your hand on it and say, that is mine. You cannot say that, no. We will ensure that you say that when we get into office. We'll also put mechanisms in place for the maintenance of those buildings and the safety of those buildings. No maintenance. We will ensure that these apartment buildings are well taken care of. Yes. Brothers and sisters, I feel the pain. I feel the pain. I feel it with you. Not you alone feel it. I feel it with you. I feel it when I go on the baby Bible fish. I feel it when I go to the shops and the stores and the supermarkets. I feel it for my husband and the other farmers who have to stretch the little inputs that they get, the manure that you buy. You have to stretch it and spread it so sparingly because it is so expensive. You cannot buy 2 bags, you can only buy 1. So you know every plant to get a little something. The pain is real. The pain is real. But let me assure you, my people, better days are ahead. We don't
tomorrow in the budget.
And the community. Infrastructure in the community. In 2019, when I was campaigning for the our party, I told you that if one election, the Sikwi Park would be upgraded to a mini stadium. I don't know if you remember, but I told you so. And the United Workers' Party, we had plans of doing that in Sikwi Park. We still say it now. The United Workers' Party will work to transform Sikwi Park. We'll transform it into an improved facility, a mini stadium that will accommodate future development of sports and cultural tourism. You heard Mrs. Barnes, when she said her son, her 15-year-old son, has to leave Castle Bruce and go to Roseau to practice Magwezai. Huh? Look at our park. Our park, if our park is developed, it will become the best park in Dominica. It will. And we will ensure, we will ensure that our park, the Sikwi Park, is maintained, is upgraded to become the best park in Dominica. While I'm on park, let me also say the Windsor Park Stadium will serve its purpose on the United Workers' Party. It will serve sports and not just pets. Not just pets. It will serve sports. This afternoon, many sections of our roads were destroyed. Many sections. Goodhope, Petit Soufriere, Castle Bruce, many sections were destroyed. You walk along, you drive along, and you see caution tape in some areas. You see drums in certain areas. You see bamboo railings in other areas. How many years after Maria? 8 years? We are moving to 8 years after Hurricane Maria. Nothing has been done. Nothing. Road sections are being undermined. They were undermined and they are continuing to undermine. And nothing has happened. The United Workers' Party government will ensure that these road areas are repaired. We will build walls where walls are needed, and we will put railings where railings are needed.
Correct. That's correct.
There are some schools maybe not in our community, but you know how our schools are getting to be, right? But there are some schools in certain areas that are closed as a result of population decline. These buildings can be effectively utilized. They can be transformed into skills centers where our students can learn skills that will prepare them for better jobs, for the job market. Our youth, they can learn skills there that will prepare them for the job market. We have to make use of those buildings because they're just closed. The vision that the United Workers' Party has for Castle Bruce will place urgent attention on our national education system. Today, I want to thank Dr. Fontaine for giving me the opportunity to address education components of the United Workers' Party 10-pillar prosperity plan. Let's look at a brief history of the United Workers' Party as it relates to education. Between 1995 and 1999, the United Workers' Party was known as the Education Party. That's what we called the party. You know why? We did a lot in education. A lot. We enacted a new education law. We built new secondary schools. We repaired others. We extended other schools to ensure that children would remain at home, yet they would attend secondary school. And while on secondary school, the Castle Secondary School, which was built in the time of Romanus Banis, this school will be named the Romanus Banis Secondary School. We strengthened the administrative and technical services for education. We built a new education block. Office block, we built that. We increased scholarships for tertiary education. The list is long, but I We implemented the most expansive and most successful education reform program in the history of Dominica. That was done under the United Workers' Party. There were no shift practices that disadvantaged students. None. Not a single case of buildings collapsing, threatening the lives of students and creating fear in students and parents. We didn't have that. That never happened under the United Workers' Party because we care for our students, we care for everyone, and we ensure that whatever structure we put in place is sturdy, very sturdy. A United Workers' Party government under the leadership of Dr. Fontaine will continue its efforts to establish an education and training system that will accomplish two major goals. The system is aligned with economic development needs and the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Two, it will enable all our citizens, everyone, to reach the full potential. Not only in your personal lives, but also in your working lives, without the need to migrate. And that's what I told you earlier on. You will not have any reason to migrate. If you migrate, you go on a little vacation. But you'll come back because you have something waiting for you in Dominica. Something very important. Your livelihood is based there. You suffer right there. We recognize that students' enrollment is on a steady decline because our schools, as I said earlier, our schools are getting too big. It means our population, the student population, is getting smaller. But we can say this is maybe due to the mass migration. Let us say that. But there's an advantage to that, or there are advantages to that. With a small population, the teacher can be or is able to do much more for the children. Because if you have a class of, say, 5, 6 students, I know a class of 3 students. You understand? So with such small classes, each child can have his own, her own IEP, that's an individual education plan. You have your own, because we know children learn at different rates, different paces. So you have your own plan, and the teacher can just move with the students, move among them, and facilitate their learning. That's an advantage. Okay? With the small classes, or the declining population, there will be an increase in the number of high-performing schools. Because if you have a small class, it means you have time to spend with them, you have time to give them individual attention, therefore they will perform better, hence your school will move up the ladder. Okay? The declining population, the small population, is an opportunity to improve learning outcomes in the school system and a higher transition rates to post-secondary and tertiary education. People of the Castles constituency, people of Dominica, the initiatives of the United Workers' Party will be designed to take advantage of these opportunities. Let us look at early childhood education. In early childhood education, we will collaborate with the stakeholders, all stakeholders, to strengthen resource allocation and improve adoption of the desirable standards in early childhood education that addresses quality and equity issues. Primary education, we will also collaborate. We will collaborate with all the stakeholders to improve learning outcomes for students and overall performance of all schools. In that respect, measures will be implemented to strengthen school leadership. We will aim to strengthen school leadership, school supervision, in-service training for teachers, curriculum development, pedagogical issues, pedagogical effectiveness, and resource allocation. All this will work to improve, to benefit the schools. It will be done to secure significant annual positive changes in the proportion of students demonstrating the required proficiencies at grade levels, particularly in literacy and numeracy. At the same time, we'll implement effective maintenance protocols for all school plants. No longer will large maintenance projects be done during school hours. The school is out during the summer, They have work to do in the schools. They wait when school is open, and then they come and disrupt the school. That will not be done on the United Workers' Party. I'm almost there. Additionally, our teachers, we will ensure that our teachers are provided with the essential tools, the necessary tools that they need to do their work. And yes, teachers, there will be an increase in your salary. Secondary education. Our initiatives in the secondary sector will focus on strengthening the effectiveness of schools to offer gender-sensitive quality education projects as measured by preparedness for current and projected job opportunities, readiness to start up your own business, achievement of immatriculation requirements for post-secondary education. People of the Castres constituents, people of Dominica, a united Workers' Party government will strengthen school leadership, will review curricular offerings to improve STEM, that is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, will improve TVET, technical and vocational education and training, will improve soft skills, will improve digital skills training, will improve the work-based training, will strengthen in-service teacher training, will extend the teacher reclassification framework to government-assisted schools, will increase the number of counselors in the education system, will strengthen collaboration with PSU, that is the Public Service Union, DAT, Parent Teachers Association, and other stakeholders to improve the effectiveness of our schools. We'll provide gender-sensitive training for teachers. We'll adopt more effective measures for school plant maintenance. We'll add career guidance officers to the support staff of the Division of Education. We'll adopt measures to strengthen accountability in schools. And yes, again, we'll increase the salary of teachers. Dominica State College, I'm going fast with that. I've been given a sign. The Dominica State College plays a critical role in the development of youth with the advanced technical and transversal skills that are required for growth of the economy, particularly the business sector. The Dominica State College is also the national institution that prepares all youth for university. State colleges are all university. Therefore, a United Workers' Party government, under the leadership of Dr. Fontaine, will review and make the necessary changes to the board of management as well as the modus operandi. We'll secure stable leadership at the state college. We'll strengthen the relevance of programs both in vocational and in the academic fields. We'll enhance collaboration with other community colleges in the OECS under the policy provisions for technical cooperation as outlined in the revised Treaty of Basque. We'll increase student enrollment at the college. We'll facilitate accessibility through better use of digital tools and enhance capacity of faculty and online participation in programs offered by the OECS community colleges. We'll improve gender balance through programs that reflect the interests of ladies. We'll implement a human resource policy that addresses standards for employment and retention of staff, professional development, discriminatory practices, and partnership with the private sector. tertiary education. The United Workers' Party's emphasis on tertiary education will increase participation, particularly among males. And to achieve this, we will enhance our partnership with UWI. We will support participation in online degrees and will enter into collaborative agreements with regional and international research universities, particularly research institutions in the European Union and Latin America. Brothers and sisters, it is important to remember that our education program in the 1995 and 1996 period was based on careful analysis of the sector, identification of priority needs, and development partners. We in the United Workers' Party remain committed to that practice. A United Workers' Party government will be transparent with you and will be accountable. You will get reports, you will take the reports in Parliament, and you will know what is happening.
That's correct.
I therefore, let me say one thing to the undecided voters. To the undecided voters, I say, your vote can break the chains of stagnation. Your vote can break the chains of dependency. I therefore urge you to choose a future where you, along with every other Dominican, can thrive, live comfortably in your country. Rally behind Dr. Thompson Fontaine and the United Workers' Party to bring Dominica back to the glory days. Together, let us make prosperity a reality for everyone. I thank you.
Okay,
Yes, brothers and sisters, our sister has a lot of passion. I mean, we cannot blame her. Her heart is for the people. So she has to give her plans and programs. And the thing about it is that our sister really wants to restore hope. Good hope. We're going to be restoring hope for our sister early. Brothers and sisters, do not. Any further ado, let me call on Honorable Susu to give a brief explanation on agriculture. A very brief. So, Brother Susu, please come forward.
No problem. Good evening to the beautiful people of Goodhope and by extension to the people of Castlewood. When you say brief, I mean really brief. Don't get up on the folder. There may be a lot of things, but not all will be said. And so, let me say that I have been ordered to have worked to the people of Castlewood. I worked with my neighbors for 21 years. And I was able to witness the Castlewood people as the people have transitioned from one point to the next. But what is more important for us today is that the people of Castlewood, they have transitioned to growth in agriculture, nothing in agriculture under this government. Do you agree with me? Yes. So once you agree with me, then we'll go into the business of what obtained. And just to respond to you, Mr. Ambani, you say, you talk about health earlier on, and you said, most of what you've said, you want that Roseau Central, if it obtained to Roseau Central, let me just tell you. For the years that I've lived in Roseau Central, we have always had a health center. Today, we have without a health center under Labour Party. That sounds like regression as opposed to progression. Okay? So I hope we get it right. So quickly, I'll just be one line and I'm going to just wrap it up. It is clear, crystal clear, that Dominica's agricultural sector has been faced with some major challenges as they relate to issues such as lack of agricultural policy, lack of land use policy, an outdated agricultural census, low budget allocation, low production and productivity, high cost of farm labor, a lack of a producer organization, unavailability of family values there, an absence of real animal husbandry practices, poor maintenance of feeder road, lack of irrigation. And remember the irrigation system in Casablanca? It is no longer there with us. Insufficient marketing and poor transportation methods. Let me just say, under the United Buddhist Party, when the United Buddhist Party was in government, agriculture in isolation of proper forecasting. You must be able to know your targeted acreages, you must be able to have targeted production, you must be able to market and organize your marketing strategy, and to ensure that the fulfillment of production and proper volume will meet the demand. So at the end of the exercise, we should have no excuses with respect to saying that we will not show. So we're talking about an agricultural policy, and we're talking about an agricultural census that will take us through to ensure that we know what exists, what we're targeting to meet market demands. We have to increase, to do so, we must be able to increase our agricultural budget allocation. In the past budget reports, if you have read it, you'll have noticed a stagnant figure of 1.3 representing agriculture. That's not very good. 1.3% of the total reason is that once we put agriculture on the front burner and not on the back burner as this government has it, we know for sure 40% of our problems will be taken care of. So we need to do that. We know about competitiveness, but that should not be a problem. Once our farmers are trained and we have competitors in the market, they will be trained to consistently produce good quality and to ensure that it sustains volume so that when buyers say, I want X, what is the impression about Dominica? I know what the mom said. Dominica is a beautiful place, a lovely place for relaxation. But I've gone around this
and Dominicans. We want, on the United World Party, we believe that Dominicans have a right to earn a decent living in Dominica. Dominica should be our first option, not our last. This is what we believe, brothers and sisters. You know what they say, when you go to school and you don't understand something, you have to ask the teacher, put up your hand, and ask the teacher a question. And with our 10 pillar, we heard somebody on the radio ranting and raving. Okay? And it's a pleasure that I am associated with the United Women's Party and the leadership of Dr. Thompson Fontaine. Dr. Thompson Fontaine is a brilliant Dominican. And we should give him the honors while he is here. I think it's a privilege that we have Dr. Thompson Fontaine in this party, and we are asking you all, we are pleading with Dominicans to give the gentleman the chance to make Dominica great again. Let us make Dominica great again. We want there. We've known things to be way better than how they are right now. Let us do it for Dominica's sake, for our children's sake. But you know, at our first meeting, I heard Daniel Lucas said that this fight is not for him right now. He's fighting for his children and for his grandchildren. And this is a fact, brothers and sisters, at our age, we have to look for the future. We have to look for our children. So, brothers and sisters, it's a great pleasure. Let me invite the man with the plan so that the man that was ranting and raving, he will finally understand what Dr. Thompson Fontaine is saying. If after this evening he does not understand, then we cannot help. So we know what we have to Dominicans. We've been 25 years behind time. So the man with the plan is going to come to explain to us once more so that the people of Dominica will see the true worth of the man we have as our leader, Dr. Thompson Fontaine. Please take the mic.
Good night. The echoes of the dreams of the people of Dominica, I can feel vibrating through these walls. The hopes and dreams of the who are planning to leave, and the first availability continue to call us into action. The dreams of hundreds of farmers across this country who feel abandoned call us to action. It's a call we dare not ignore. It's a calling that we must endure. And so tonight I am happy to be with you. Happy that we are able to go across this beautiful land of ours with a message of hope, a message of promise, a message that is built upon 10 solid pillars. And I know that some people are having sleepless nights, but this is the way forward. This is our answer to the dreams that I've spoken about. This is the answer to what the people of Dominica have been waiting for. And so we take this very seriously. We understand the need to continue to educate our people. We understand the need to continue to go to Goodhope and all across Dominica, bringing this message of hope. Because that's what this is. It's a message of hope. In a country that has dashed the drains and condemned thousands of our young people. And every time I talk about the young people of Dominica, it sends shivers through my spine because I think of the promise of our young people. I think of the hopes and the dreams of the young people of Dominica, working in countries like Antigua, St. Martin, Saba, Guadeloupe, St. Martin, Anguilla, the United States of America, Europe, that's all over Europe. Young people in the prime of their lives, developing other people's countries because they have been denied opportunity here in Dominica. And we are saying that it is time to change that. It is time to make it so that the young people of Dominica can dream and build their lives and their futures here in this country. And that's what those 10 pillars are all about. That is why we go out day in and day out with a message to the people of Dominica. And today, as we went through the village of Cassie Bruce, Teacher Lenny was telling me, this house is no longer occupied. This house is no longer occupied. Houses are just there, without occupants. They have not been raptured. They've just gone overseas. They migrated. And their homes that they built and toiled for were just sitting there. And that situation is echoed across Dominica. Homes that should be filled with joy, with laughter, with dreams to build a better Dominica, all gone. Because people are overseas under a Labour Party that have been in office for 25 years. They have not been able to find a way out. And so they take the easy, well, not the easy route, it's about survival. And they migrate overseas. And we have a Prime Minister who, in response to the 10 pillars, says, well, where is the money going to come from? Well, let me remind the Prime Minister that he just spent $5.3 million to prosecute myself, Honorable Lennox Linton, and Honorable Edison James. $5.3 million paid to foreign lawyers. And at the end of the day, the High Court says this is malicious. Even some of them rights, they come from the countryside because they're out there 8 o'clock, committed. And they said that there is no money for these individuals, but you have enough money to try to put us in jail. All because we are trying to help our country. All because we have decided, in my case, to use my experience, to use my training, and to use the blessings that God has blessed me with to build this country with a united team of Dominica. And so he says, where's the money going to come from? And he says, well, where are the plans? What kind of plans are those? And trying to inform, well, it's unfortunate that after 25 years, you are not able to give a way forward for this country. After 25 years, you still feel that it is fun, it is okay to take a 30% salary increase for yourself and your ministers and give 0 to the hard-working police officers. The police officers, they were doing the work when they fingerprinted me and took my mugshot. They were very apologetic. But they're doing the work because they've been told to do it. I'm not a criminal. Do I look a criminal? Do I look like a criminal?
Like an economist.
You know, it's very interesting. It really is. But that's why we really want to be going. Because we understand that the time is now for change in our country. We understand that after 25 years of Labour Party rule, they are not able to turn this country around. No ideas, and you'll hear it in the budget tomorrow. Every year they increase the budget by 10%. Every year, because we will by 10%. And at the end of the day, budget implementation is almost 0. Unable to plan, unable to strategize, unable to come up with the 10 pillars of development for Dominica. And what I love about those 10 pillars is that it offers shared prosperity for Dominicans. So local governments are getting 40% and public sector getting 0%. 30% for everybody. You know, you 30%, you get 30%. If you're going to give 10%, everybody gets 10%. And I'm giving you some 1 cent. That's not going to cost you. That's not going to cost you. But that is the kind of conscience that when I listen to the Prime Minister, and he is mad because we're offering a minimum wage of $12 an hour, he's mad. He's not want Dominicans to make $2,000 a month. But that is the living wage now for Dominica. Yes. That is the living wage. That just puts you, $2,000 just puts you at just enough to survive. So, you know, if you live in the country, you don't have a rent, you have your home and someone, you know, you can make out. That's not no auto tool large now. That's not impossible. And interestingly enough, St. Kitts and Nevis, after we announced our $12, they announced $12.50. Antigua and Bermuda, after we announced our $12, they announced $13.50. So we are saying we cannot do it here in Dominica, but St. Kitts can do it. Antigua can do it. And somebody says, well, you know, Antigua has been growing faster than Dominica and so on, so they can afford to do it. But we can do it. We can do it based on those 10 pillars, and that's why I want to remind us of those 10 pillars tonight. I'm going to go through very quickly those 10 pillars. I'm going to go through because that is what the people of Dominica are putting their hopes on, and that is what we are going to be offering. So I'm not going to start with the economic empowerment one because that seems to be a lot of problems to a lot of people. I'll come back to it, but let's talk about, importantly for us here, especially in this area, agriculture. So, pillar number 5 is to establish agriculture, water, and manufacturing sectors. Right there, just in those 3 sectors, we will employ thousands and thousands of Dominicans. We will rebuild our agricultural infrastructure, rebuild the feeder roads to ensure that people are able to get to the feeder roads. We will upgrade the access to the markets and Matthew provides us, because in 2016 I was out there in Martinique and I spoke to the buyers of Dominica produce, and they were telling me they can take everything that Dominica can throw at them, everything, and they want everything from Dominica. They want to go coconuts, they want to go coconuts, they want to go cocoa, they want to go spice, they want it. So just say, just match it. Can put thousands and hundreds and thousands and millions of dollars in the pockets of Dominicans. I know Because in just 6 months in 2016, myself and Danny Luque was there. After going across Dominica for 6 months, we have brought in over $600,000 just in 6 months. So don't tell me that agriculture cannot create the kind of jobs. That's the name. So we will empower, we will rebuild and learn from so. We are already thinking about how this can be done. Very soon we will establish a committee of experts in agriculture who will sit and plan. Will sit and plan from day 1 and day 2 how that strategy in agriculture will unfold. They will be able to tell us exactly how and what will be done, the costs that will be required, so that as a government we'll be able to seek the funding to ensure that we do what is necessary to rebuild the agriculture sector. So hang tight, people of Goodhope and Deepa and Toronto and Castle Gross, I Petit Soufouye and San Sauvé, hang tight. Because the United Workers' Party Team Dominica is going to re-establish the agriculture sector. Let's talk about manufacturing. Manufacturing is going to go hand in hand with agriculture. I just came back from Bangladesh. I was there, I went there for a week, working with the Central Bank and the Ministry of Finance in my country on a public finance plan for the country and some ideas around the debt and so on. And when I stepped into the plane in Bangladesh, I couldn't really forget a cent. I said, well, that cent something familiar. That cent, the bills, they were so nice and really. So I went up to the girls, I said, what is it that you're using? And she showed me a can spray of lemongrass. Lemongrass, the same lemongrass that is.
You're spraying.
And they have been able to convert that into an air freshener that is used, and that is the most beautiful stuff. It's a lemongrass spray. That is delicious. And I sat down, and they served me with a mango bar. I almost cried. You know why? Because I remember all the mangoes I see on the streets of Dominica. That's right. And they're neatly packaged is a mango bar that passengers on the plane are snacking on, and delicious snack. And we have a government that says we cannot do that, we cannot build the manufacturing. What does it take to slice two mangoes and put them in a bar and seal it up? What does it take? That's not rocket science. That's not building a spacecraft to go to Mars. That's everything, and that is what we are doing. We are going to be building our manufacturing sector that focuses on what we have, on our lemongrass, on our vector. You know, years ago, I remember talking about vector because I had spoken to the experts in Central Oil, some experts in that area, and they told me that 80% of all perfumes that are manufactured use vector. And when I came to Dominica, I thought about vector. I remember the ministers were publicly and active publicly. I'm trying to make Dominicans grow vector. But there is one to make from vector. And so I'm saying this to say that with the establishment of our agriculture and our manufacturing, we will create the jobs that are necessary for the people of Dominica. We will create the jobs for the people of Goodhope. We will create the jobs for the people of Castle Gross and Deepa and Toronto and San Sauvé and Goodhope. We will, because we are able to do it under this plan that we have. I'm not talking about the water. We have the best water this side of the globe. I think on the other side, probably Fiji is maybe just about the same as ours. But Fiji water is all over the world. A little glass of Fiji water goes for about $8-10. It's a little bottle. It's considered to be high-class water. So all the Christians, I taste it, I say, but our water is better than Fiji water. And yet, we are importing water into Dominica. So how difficult it is to bring the hundreds of jobs in a bottling water industry in Dominica. Or even a bulk water situation. How difficult is that? You see, our government grew lazy. They had the CBI money. And as long as CBI was flowing, no reason to worry about our farmers or our young people, because they had enough money to pay for the servants and deliveries. Another key part of our pillars is renewable energy development. Renewable energy development. I just found out that geothermal energy is possibly the cleanest energy right now, and in the United States of America, they are looking to develop geothermal potential. So you have a firm that is going all over the United States, digging deep into the earth to get to the geothermal energy, because they believe that is the one that has the limitless power. Because if it's solar, you need the sun to be shining, the wind is not always blow. But the geothermal, once it's there, it is endless and renewable. And then we have 9 volcanoes in Dominica. That's 9 already confirmed sources of geothermal power that we can light up not only in Dominica, but all of the Caribbean region. So when we develop our geothermal energy, we will develop it not only for ourselves, not only for the 60,000 people of Dominica, but we're looking at the running lines to Puerto Rico, running lines to the islands. That is doable, that is possible. So development of our renewable energy is not a key way, but will create jobs for the people of Dominica. And will bring monies into the pockets of the Dominican government. Then there is our infrastructure for resilient communities, another pillar. From proper waste management to modernized public services, we will invest in infrastructure that uplifts every community. And while we're at it, we'll buy a few garbage trucks. You know, I don't know about you, but you know, it really does. It really does. And those who has such a beautiful place, you know, Samsung, this place is beautiful. And when you come across these mounds of rubbish, and a government that cannot, after all that time, cannot deal with that garbage problem, notwithstanding that people are dying from this because of leptospirosis. I mean, come on, Dominican, let's get serious about our country. Let's get serious about our future. A government that is not able to take care of its rubbish should be rubbished. I mean, it's time to get serious. It's time to get serious. And today, you know, as I'm talking about getting serious because, you know, some of my labor friends, they're very interested. So today, as we walk in a certain area in Castle Cross, I find some old set of people in one area. So we decide to walk in that direction. I tell we got there, they go down. We decided to go in the apartment areas there, and suddenly everybody is participating. They were not after. But really, I want a chance to talk to them. To offer them some of what we're talking about. It's not about not liking your parliamentarian or your prime minister. It's about the future of the country. It's about the future of the children. It's about creating opportunities for young people. For brilliant young people, because they are brilliant. They have what it takes. They succeed overseas. Everywhere they go, they succeed. They're the best teachers, Brahmins and kids and neighbors. They're the best hotel keepers in Anguilla. They work hard because they come from Dominica. They know they have it in there. It's always natural. So we need to offer them those opportunities. The infrastructure that will build resilient communities. Of course, youth opportunity and retention. We must be able to keep our youth in Dominica. That is how they're going to grow the economy. That is how they're going to get the innovation and the thinking to be able to build our country. And so we'll ensure that our focus is on the young people of Dominica. And I'm very happy to report to you that the young people of Dominica are taking notice. We are sometimes too quick to brush them aside and refer to them as a CO generation. But they're taking notice. I've been reading some very interesting Just today, I got a text from a gentleman, I don't know who he is, but he was saying that they're trying to send some gifts to Dominica. They want to support a football team, and they want to send just some jerseys and so on. And he said they've been taxed on that. Just taking a contribution to some young people in the country, and they've been taxed. We are paying for our noses, as they say, on the sport. You bring the little couple items and the taxes are so high. If you try to buy a car, over 140% of the value of the car is what you have to pay. So we are overtaxed. The United Workers' Party Team Dominica will introduce tax reform where we will give incentives for homeowners. So that if you want to build, you can build duty free. We will give incentives to real farmers. Not farmers who are buying nice cars. A farmer should have needs out of that, right? You can have a second vehicle, but if you're going to come for duty free, you should at least have a van, right? Because you need to carry your shovel. Shovel and your plants inside. So tax reform is very important. Because tax reform is going to be used in such a way that it can encourage growth and development. It can help grow the economy. So it's not just about giving tax incentives. It's about directing those. So for example, when we talk about the minimum wage as another pillar, empowering through fair wages and salaries, and raising the minimum wage, we will give some incentives to the business places that have to pay those higher wages, so that the burden is not on the businessman or the businesswoman. The burden will be a government tax policy. So that's how we're going to do this. So Mr. Prime Minister, that's how we're going to be able to afford. But probably misunderstand. I don't think you understand. I was thinking of this answer. It does not. It is not, because if you did, you'll not make a fool of yourself to try to question this. By the way, I've not known Johnny completely with this thing. You know, for 6 years between 1988, that's how old I am. That's age dates me. 1988 and 1993. I was responsible for calculating the growth of this country. Calculating agriculture growth, construction growth. I remember those days, we would have construction starts in the hundreds. 300, 400, 500 construction starts during the year. People building all over the country. Where is all of that? Foreigners. It's all gone. And so our tax reform will be targeted to give those incentives, but also to ensure that people can breathe, people have spending power. Because one of the things that has happened to us in Dominica is that our money is going nowhere. By the way, can you imagine I saw a bottle of juice for $70? So none of you drink grape juice, right?
That's that special
That's grape juice. $70. And they have none of our juices on the market. Carabola. I picked up some today in Goodhope. Juicy, just buy that and eat. Just eat that. Carabola, sweet. We have all of that there. Or mangoes, or soursop, or everything that we need is here for us to do. But we import all of those things. So our tax policy will target those things as well. We'll do a process of what we call import substitution. So they're going to substitute the expensive $70 grape juice to caramel juice. It's nice, it's just as nice. Probably just as nutritious, even probably more nutritious. So we're not necessarily growing grapes in Dominica, but there are other things that the justice looked at government there. Our government. So when you hear people say that you cannot do those things, you cannot have tax reform for wealth creation, it's because they don't understand what you're talking about. But the people of Dominica are understanding it. The message is going through to the people of Dominica. They understand that. Then there is healthcare, another pillar, healthcare and education transformation. We will rebuild our healthcare and education systems that are accessible, efficient, and responsive, well-equipped and supplied medical centers will make use of our trained doctors, both at home and abroad. And this will be complemented by a national health insurance system. It makes no sense to have the best medical health in the country and you're not able to access it because you don't have the income. You deal with that through a national health insurance program that will be implemented under a United Workers' Party team. So that will ensure that every single Dominican will have quality access or will have access to quality health in this country.
That's right.
I will say that again.
Yes.
Our pledge to the people of Dominica is that every Dominican will have access to a quality healthcare system. And the way we do that is through the National Health Insurance Scheme, which we will implement when we become this government.
Sure.
Our education system will be modernized. We will train our students once again in maths, in languages, in science and social disciplines. We will equip our young people with the tools to compete globally, ensuring that no one is left behind. Another pillar that is right there, just up the road from us, our Kalinago people. Ecotourism, sports and cultural tourism. We will devote the resources and the energy to ensure that we recognize the immense talent that we have in Dominica amongst our young people, not only during Creole Fest, but ensure that they can make a decent living from their talent. Our different genres of music, our bouillon, our soca, and our canas, and everything that has come out of this country. Our culture, our rich cultural heritage, our sports. The little teacher really talked about fixing the Castle Field, and today I stood and I looked across and I see just vast expanse that could be built into a beautiful stadium, as you said, that could have international matches. We could invite sports people from across the world to come, engage in sports tournaments, do the sports tourism, that our young people will have the desire to pursue sports. We will do all of that at the United Workers' Party to ensure that we take care of the needs of our people. And our Kalinago people, a treasure that God gave us of all the islands, where the Kalinagos live, in all of them. God ensured that they will only here with us in Dominica. So that's a treasure that we must find a way to not only build their lives and their communities, and to build them up and take them out of poverty, but to ensure that they contribute more meaningfully to our country's development. And that is possible with their craft and just in the unique thing that they bring to our society. And so, as we go down the list of pillars, we're coming to the end. Just a couple more. We talked about all of them. The other one, the two, one more actually, two. Talked about 8, 2 more. Social equity and inclusion. Social equity and inclusion. We will, I want to read this, I want to get this right. We will dismantle manipulative policies and build a society where every Dominican has a voice on the stage. Our elderly and those vulnerable among us will be cared for and cherished. We will establish a welfare system that is separate from political interference. So no parents sending you for nothing. The welfare division can start with our competent Dominican professionals will determine who is in need. Of course, there will be a system to ensure that it is done. There are checks and balances in the system. But we'll take that out of the hands of the power so that we can say, person A will get, person B will not get because they are not voting. I mean, how cruel can we get? It's the same need. Both individuals need the medicine that they have to buy with $300 they're getting now. They both need it. Why should we be deciding which one gets and which one does not? So we are committed to ensuring the establishment of a welfare system that is separate from political interference and be independent, so that the needs of those who require it will be met. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, Dominicans at home and abroad, transparent governance. We will root out corruption. No more will you hear none of your damn business. Because if you put us, and when you put us in office, it will be your business everything. We will be prompt to you, we will be transparent, and we will be responsible. We will not give our ministers 40% and our public servants 0. Your Prime Minister will not live in a $64,000 apartment or building. There is no need for that. No need to put that kind of burden on the taxpayers. Over 7 million and counting in just over 10 years. We will not put our people first. But we will ensure that we have a government that serves the people of this country. We will not be your masters, we will be your servants. Because we understand that is because of you we will get into office. And this is the pledge that we make to the people of Dominica. A government that is responsive to your needs, a government that will work from day one to ensure that those 10 pillars are in fact manifested. That will ensure that we create the jobs, we create the opportunities, we retain our young people, we have a health system that is equal to none, and an education system that's equal to none, and agriculture that employs people again, a manufacturing sector that will use what God has given us to be a blessing to the rest of the world. This is our promise to you, people of Dominica. But for us, many of that, we need your support. We need your support. Additionally, I must say I was very much impressed with the approach today. You know, and I said, but I can start doing that. You know, just straight up, you know, we need your support. We cannot do it without you. We pass a fair sound. We need you. We need you. We need you to support us. We need you to be there for us as we will be there for you. Our next townhall will be in La Plaine on the 7th of August. But we will be around and about ensuring that this message goes out to the people of Dominica. Thank you, Dominica, for your support. Thank you for that.
Dr. Font, I don't know what I can say again about Dr. Font's presentation. I mean, brilliant presentation from a brilliant Dominican. Dr. Font, just want to thank you and I say that we are proud of you, Dr. Font. And I just hope that those that were questioning Dr. Fountain last week, I hope that you heard and you understood. Because if you cannot understand now, then you cannot help. So Dominicans, we know what we have to do as a Fountain. We need you. We cannot do it without you. Okay? We need you to vote for us. Whenever the election is called, we want you to vote for us. And one thing let me ask everyone here, right? It's very simple for us with the election, brothers and sisters. All we want everybody here to do is to go out there and get one. Just get one person. And if we can do that, brothers and sisters, we fix something there. We're going to fix something, brothers and sisters. We are going to do it. On the Eastern Lucas Party, we have people who are able to do it. We have proven ourselves in various fields, brothers and sisters. So we are asking, we are pleading for your help so that we can help you, the people of Dominica, and to bring Dominica to where it should be, the envy of the Caribbean. So at this time, brothers and sisters, question and answer time. If anyone has any concerns, please feel free to ask your question. Dr. Thompson Fountain is there, Teacher Henry is there, so you can address either one of them or any one of them for any concerns you have. Okay. All right, so I'll ask the first question because someone asked me to ask Dr. Fountain a question for them. what Dr. Fontaine is a direct approach to foreign investment for Dominica. Take into consideration that we had Ross University here and we allowed Ross University to leave the country. What are your plans? What are you going to do so that you can bring investors back to Dominica?
Okay, a key part of what we're talking about in terms of our manufacturing and job creation will depend upon foreign direct investment. And the way you do that is that you create incentives for them to come. So there are ways, for example, you can give again our tax policy towards growth and wealth development will do some of that. Because you can offer, for example, you can offer individuals coming in incentives, tax holidays that they can have. And the other thing that is critical for us, and that is why the plan has to go together, if we're able, or when we're able to develop our geothermal or renewable energy and be able to produce cheap energy, that is what will be able to attract even more people to Dominica. Right now, businesses don't want to come to Dominica because of the high cost of energy. But as we lower the cost of energy through renewable energies, more and more businesses will be enticed to come. Okay, so it's through energy attraction or low energy costs, as well as ensuring that we give them the kind of incentives that they need to increase our permanent investment. But that is a key part of the process by which they will attract jobs into Dominica.
Yes, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yes, good evening, everyone. Mr. Fontaine, I have a question for you. Seeing that during the Labour Party has been for the NP, so seeing that you will be the next one, Mr. Young,
Yes, ma'am.
what would become of that NP program if you would either let it go on or you would, whatever you would do in that meeting?
Okay, thank you very much for this question. And this is part of our second pillar, economic empowerment through fair wages and salaries. And by the way, thank you for coming with us this afternoon. You was with us Friday afternoon, visiting the various homes. I wanted to thank you publicly for that. We will transform the NEP into a skills building program. It will be skills building and training. Okay? It will not just be about cutting, clearing the roadside. It's nice, but we want to ensure that our young people get skills and that they are better trained. So we are not, and let me repeat, let me see, because you have had a lot of propaganda saying and trying to frighten people that we will get rid of the NP program. We will not get rid of the NP program. We will not fire the NP workers, but we will transform the NP into a skills and training program that will offer a lot more opportunities for the young people. We will also ensure that they are paid a fair wage. Okay, we said already that for us the limit of a fair wage is $2,000 EC dollars, not 1,000, not 700, not 500. So we'll ensure that they are fair wages, but importantly, young people to learn skills and to be trained so that they can decide that after they want to go, they want to migrate, they'll be able to have a skill that they can transfer wherever they go to. So that is our promise to the people of Dominica. We will not end the NLP program, we will make it better.
myself. I'm fighting for my grandchildren then that will have to come and have to endure it. So I just wanted to tell the public and tell the people again what plans you have to revisit what the government do and what your government will be doing to help your people. I thank you.
Gloria, I really want to thank you for the question. I've been listening to you tonight, the other night, and also having been on the ground in Wesley and visited, we've been on the ground with Jean a couple of times in Wesley. And I remember we entered a house, it was around probably 7:38 about at night, and this lady was wearing daggers. Do you remember? No? When we went to this house and she was wearing shades? Yes. And at 8 o'clock, we were talking about why are you wearing shades at 8 o'clock? He said it's because of the dust in her house. Sitting in a living room, she had to take action to prevent the dust from impacting her. So we know that the people of Wesley have been given a bad hand. Some individuals who should have been compensated were not compensated because of the way they felt they were living politically. Or individuals who should not have gotten as much cut, so it was not done fairly. And I'm going based on first-hand work or evidence, persons who related those to us in Wesley. I remember that one lady, for example, saying she had crops and so on, and a lot more land than her neighbor. A lot more, and she was very close to harvesting all the rest of it. And the amount that she got was a fraction of what her neighbor, whose land was largely abandoned, got. But the difference was she was a very strong United Workers' Party supporter, and her neighbor was a laborite. So we know that the Western people have not been dealt a fair hand. So a promise to the people of Wesley is that the United Workers' Party team the government will review all of the incentive packages that were given. Review them with a view to ensuring equity, that people are treated fairly, not based on their political affiliation, and that they're dealt with based upon their need. Okay, so if the evaluation has to be done in a way that is non-political. So that's the promise that we give to you, Warren. We may not be able to cure, because from what I've seen, the dust and everything else, that is a huge health disaster in the making, and that is something that the health authorities must take seriously. Okay? But once we're in office, we'll ensure that as far as compensation is concerned, as far as ensuring that you get your dues, that will be looked at. We'll review every single contract, every single arrangement that the government of Dominica entered into with the people of Wesley to ensure that there is fairness and that the people get their just deserves and they ensure that they are equally and well compensated for their properties.
Good evening, everybody.
Amen.
Okay, I have a few questions, and I want to start by asking Mr. Fontaine. I know that we are in the opposition right now, but a lot of people, they are afraid maybe to tell members of the party this, so I think I want to give a voice tonight that we are in the opposition, yes, and we tend to look at it like we say that there are things we cannot do because we are not in office. But I think if we have that mentality, it is wrong. Because there are things we can do to show what we have planned in the meantime, because there are non-government organizations that we can tackle to get some projects going, and there are people in the diaspora who are willing to assist us in doing those things. Because I look at you can see the road, we can chip it something. We're not raising funds, we're not doing anything to get monies, so that we can do these little projects. And then another thing, I've been to meetings back and forth, and we're making plans on see them coming through. Recently we had a meeting, and nobody has called me and said, okay, we're going to meet the youth, we're going to do what we had planned. I think we need to go back to the drawing board and see how we can get that implemented. We cannot make plans and just skipping and going to another meeting and not enforcing on what we discussed, right? And because I look at, we have the seaweed there, it can be used to do a lot of different things. What about if we tackle agencies like Jeff program, like the Jeff Grants program, to see if we can get a few young people engaged in using the seaweed to do things like shoes, do books, you know, and these types of things. These are the projects we can do by targeting, as I said, non-government organizations. There are a lot of grants overseas that we can get, that we can do things to show people what we mean. We don't have to be in power to empower people. So I think we need to look at that. And the campaign funds, can you tell us if you're going to help us with campaign funds and what we are going to do? Or we are going to do that to raise funds? Because I suspect every time an election fall, we do this, we do that, and as it gone, we stop. And some people who have raised funds, it's not part of it, but raising funds is very important. It is very important. It helps to make people recognize that Congress is still there. We're still doing something, not because we're there in opposition. All right, so I want answers. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for that. And I really value those questions that you raised. With respect to the projects, that is something that it can be done. And I'll give you a very good example. If you just turn to your back, there's Dan sitting right behind you. We call that Danny Allen a project to upgrade the Lindo Park. And when they started doing that, the government actually shut the project down for some time. So there are limits as to what you can do on government property and so on. So that is one aspect of it. We have in the party, we have been attempting to do a non-profit organization, because if you're going to go after the same organizations that you speak about, you need to be a non-profit organization. They will not give support to a political party. It has to be done for a non-governmental organization. So we are very much conscious of that, and that's the reason why we have been working on doing our own NGO, so that we can do those kinds of things. It is not yet in place, it's in the process, but that is something that we certainly plan to do. And I agree wholeheartedly, there are things that we can do in opposition. So, for example, we have started sourcing markets for the farmers in Ashland. You know, that's one of the things that we are doing on a weekly basis. We are exporting Ashland for the farmers, you know. So stuff like that we can do, and we'll be looking for other ways to do it. And that's your question about the seaweed and so on. All of that can be done. With regards to campaign funds, that's an ongoing process. As a political party, we have to use funds. We have to gain funds, and we have a plan in place for that. Of course, we cannot say publicly. It's something that we're doing internally. But we are conscious of that and the need to have as much resources as possible to run a very good campaign. So let me just assure you that that is the plan. We're not there as yet, but we are working on ensuring that this is done. And with regards to the plans that you talked about that we've been doing, I agree, we have to do a better job of not only planning but executing those plans. Okay, so we'll revisit those plans that we made and ensure that they're carried out. But there's always room for improvement, but we need to follow through, as I said. We absolutely have to follow through on our plans that we have to build for tackling the youth and solving our constituencies.
Okay, so we have two questions, but what we'll do, we'll take the two questions and then we'll wrap up. So don't answer after one. So he's going to do it and then she's going to answer.
Yes, good night. Everybody inside there.
Don't be able to see my name when you care is there. Yes. Mr. President, I want on agriculture. I want to know that we will support to help us to put agriculture. If you decide you go to China or you go back to Taiwan. Because everybody inside the know for sure back in the days and in the 90s, the best one, the best couple is on Tiawalan and etc. And for the past, I would say right now, for the past 15 years under one China policy. One China policy is under one man, is the Dominican policy is under one man. Okay? Policy with China. And we don't know what agreement we have with China till we get into office, you know. But with Taiwan, and for those that don't know, you should know that as economics, you know, by the next year, China economy will go back based on the war that comes from Ukraine. You should know that. So the economy will shrink. I hope that we will sign when we get there. I choose that we should choose Taiwan over China with the agriculture.
So, it's not a question. You will take some. You will give me
in UWP time, when they had introduced the VAT, it was only 5% for 2 years. But since this government came in power, VAT have been going on, and instead of the 5%, they brought it to 7%, and it's 15% VAT. So when we get into power, I'm saying when we get, because we have to get
That's
into
correct.
power.
That's correct.
What plans do you have for the VAT? Are you going to continue? Are you going to cut it out, or are you going to reduce it?
All right, that's an excellent question. And again, that's under our economic pillar of tax reform for wealth creation. We have indicated that we will revise the VAT rates. Now, when I say revise or review the VAT rates, okay, I understand it's 15%. For example, in St. Lucia, it's 13% in St. Lucia, so it means actually higher than our neighbor, St. Lucia. The question is, can it go lower? Now, all of these answers we will have once we're able to put forward a comprehensive plan, because we're talking about cutting taxes in other areas as well. So the VAT will be one of those will be raised. Not only our VAT, but also custom duties to ensure that we get fair taxes, because we do not have fair taxes in Dominica. For example, Antigua has removed the income tax completely. There's no income tax in Antigua. Alright, so there are different countries that have done different things. We'll be looking at the evidence in other countries, see what's working best for those countries, and see how we can incorporate it. But that is something we are working at, and I agree with you, the VAT is a big burden for Dominicans. It's a big burden. And one of the areas already that we're looking at is, for example, manufacturers. When manufacturers are importing products from Dominica, they have to pay VAT on it. And very often they have to pay the VAT upfront. That is something that can be changed easily. You don't have them pay the VAT upfront, but probably after, later on. So there are different ways of doing it, but that we will be reviewing and ensure that they have a fair and equitable tax rate and tax system in Dominica. Thank you. And of course, your question, your statement is well noted. It's well noted that we should do Taiwan rather than China. Going back to the good old days of the prawn farms and the cucumbers and the pineapples and so on. Yes.
Jerry Brown.
All right.
Okay. Just one. Someone said that we to ask you about the competition process. Can you go through it, just explain to the people one last time, and when will it be starting?
Okay, thanks a lot, and thanks for reminding, because somebody has also raised it. So, all of us in there and all of you listening, there is a confirmation process that has been announced by the Electoral Office. And that process begins on September 1st, 2025. What this means is that you need to confirm your name on the list of electors. So if your name is currently on the list, you need to confirm your name and your address on that list. Okay? The government of Dominica will be, the electoral office will be employing enrollment officers who will be set up in the various constituencies. These will not be the same as your registering officers. You have your registering officers who will still be handling new registration. So persons who just turned 18 and those who have never been registered, they will be dealing with the registering officers. But there will be enrollment officers that will be announced for every constituency. And at that point, the electoral office will indicate to us what means that will be required to verify your identity. They have not yet done that because the legislation is not clear on it. But when they issue the guidelines, they will indicate exactly what is required. They will require both paper, they will just like the registration, but you must confirm your name. If you're not confirmed, then your name will be removed on the voters list. And then you'll have to re-register. So you don't want that. The easier process is just to confirm. Okay? So as soon as the electoral office issues these clarifications and declare as to what is required to confirm, we will be coming back to you and we'll ensure that all of you who are currently registered will continue to remain on the voters list. Okay?
Thank you, Dr. Thompson Fontaine. We are bringing our Townhall to an end, and we would like to call on our sister Mariel Junphy to give the vote of thanks. It's a bit late, so we don't want to waste too much time, and some of us have to go very fast. So, our sisters, please.
Thank you. Good night, everybody. And I just want to thank everybody for coming out, but before I say that, I want to call out all Dominican women to rally around women like Tisha Ernie. You know, these are the women who have substance, who have character, who have integrity, who are honest. These are the kind of women that you want your daughters to take example from. For many of our young girls, the example on the other side is not the example that you want your children to emulate. Okay, so that's why I try to pull myself away, but I have to stay along her because a woman like that deserves a team of women that will stand up and take back our country and to say, here we are young women, because our men are giving us. They are giving us their plan, because men are planners. They plan their work, and so they need us women. You execute. You know, like in farming, you ever see the man you are out water? Me mama say from la lay bini your mama me you. When the whole field is in proper order. The children are informed. Why the man you got back boy? Me say from la you on jardin and Priscilla. As a farmer, Priscilla, when you go in the garden, you understand what I'm saying? So we need women, our young girls. These are the kind of women that you have to emulate. Teacher Ernie and the rest of the team. And on that note, I just want to say thank you. Thank you, Dr. Fontaine, for taking all the blows that you have taken. I want to say even for the past team of the Workers' Party who have taken a lot of blows. But know that God, as long as God is in the midst of what you're doing, you will be successful. Remember, Gideon had 30,000 men, and God gave you 300. Do not look at the size. Look at the master of the wind, master of the wave. Do not put God away from what you're doing, or else all them make God the master of your plan. Okay? Everybody, thank you.
All right, thank you, Ms. John. And our meeting has officially come to an end. We just like to thank everyone. Thank you very much. And thank you to the beautiful people of Goodhope. We're happy to have been here. Thank you very much. Good night, everyone.